me share with you why closed mouths don't get fed and why your talent is going unnoticed and why you're not being paid appropriately. So, we're going to have a real quick talk. And I'm going to relate this to where this conversation came from, which was yesterday at our family field day. So, we had family field day yesterday, and I had a moment that I just have to share with you all because it is directly what educators are dealing with. It is the exact thing that is happening with these highly talented, highly gifted, well educated, well credentialed individuals who have all this skill and talent, yet they're robbing Peter to pay Paul. They are struggling, they are frustrated, they are emotionally drained, they are burned out, and then they wonder why, if they did all the things they were told to do, why is it that they are not being paid more, valued more? Why don't they have more time to do the things that they enjoy? So let's talk about it. We're going to talk about why educators, and I'm talking specifically to educators and those who work within school systems and those who serve in areas that meet the greater good of society. You're overlooked, you're underpaid, and you're underbooked. And it's not because you don't have the talent, it's simply because nobody knows that you have the talent. So yesterday, family field day, I saw two types of people at the field. And be honest and see if you can relate to this. So I saw two types of people on the field. I saw those who showed up and showed out, and then I saw the ones who shrunk and stayed quiet, the ones who kind of fell into the background, the ones who stayed under the pavilion, didn't really create too much of a hassle. That was one group. But then the other group, honey, they showed up, they showed out, they had a good time. And let me tell you what I witnessed. I'm going to give you just, I got my list right here. Like, here's my list right here. So we had one cousin who showed up. He does backflips across, like he does all these backflips and stuff. So every time he scored, boom, backflip. Every time he caught a ball, boom, backflip. You know what it did? It caught everyone's attention. And then folks started asking him, like, who's training you? What gym are you working at? Guess what? He was like, nobody. I just do this for fun. And then people started giving him, man, you should check out this gym over here. I'm gonna connect you with this person who I know who does gymnastics and this and that. Wouldn't have got that information. One of the things that he said, this is just fun to me. I don't know what to do with it. Had he not been doing the backflips, doing like all of these elaborate routines, no one would have even known he had that talent. What if he had just caught the ball and kickball and just been like, you're out? Instead, he would catch the ball and then he'd do a backflip. It put his talent on display. Then I have a niece. She grabbed the mic when the music came on. So we were under the pavilion and the music came on, and baby, she sang. Do you hear me? Now I want to paint the picture for you, and I'll post some pictures right after this live so you can see what I'm talking about. This event probably had upwards to 75 to 100 people at it. So our immediate family is 25 people, and then everybody invited people. So we had a pretty big turnout, and the turnout was of people who some of us know, some of us don't, because they were friends of cousins and friends of friends. So you never know who's going to be in the mix of what you're doing. And so that's why you have to make it clear that I got this talent. This is what I do. So my niece grabs the mic when the music came on. It was her song. And baby, when I say she sang, she sang. And then people started asking, does she sing at weddings? Does she sing at funerals? She has an amazing voice. And so we were able to say to some people, like, yeah, she's been singing. She's been singing all her life. She will sing at your wedding. She can sing at your funeral. It made her more visible. Even though it was a family event, there were people there that she did not know. And then in the same token, my son who plays football, baby, you would have thought he was doing his highlight reel. Let me tell you, you would have thought that he was in his highlight reel. He was jumping, catching, he wasn't holding back. And what did that lead people to say? They started saying, oh my, look at his balance, look at his strength, look at his speed. And then people started saying, because he's graduated from high school now, they were like, oh, well, what else is he good at? Oh, well, has he thought about this? Has he thought about that? Simply because they were able to see his talent. I'm just going to give you a couple more examples. And then I'm gonna make the point that I'm making. So I have another cousin who, we got all this stuff going on. And again, I'll post some pictures after this. We got all this stuff going on that is for Facebook and Instagram. And people are trying to get people's attention with the microphone. We had whistles around our neck because we were doing field day. And as we were doing that, he went and grabbed the microphone and he started talking, baby. When I say voice was booming, it was smooth. He was hilarious. It was like he turned into this whole different person. He started kind of being the MC of the party. And he was doing such a great job at it. His voice, it was demanding, but it wasn't that scary demanding, but it got your attention. And we were like, oh, wow, look at him. Listen at him. When I tell you, it made people begin to think, oh, he would be good at emceeing weddings and events and things like that. I immediately thought about Thanksgiving. I want to do a Thanksgiving bingo party. He could be the MC. So when people see your talent, and then the best one of all, my one niece, who was the organizer of the event, she said she was doing her daiquiri bar. So she brought all of the stuff, she set it up herself, organized it, and she put a tip jar over there. So she had all flavors, fresh made daiquiris. She brought her machine. She had her blends. She knew exactly. I mean, these daiquiris look like the daiquiris that you get when you go to a restaurant. Some of them were twisted, and it was really cute. But she showed up with her own daiquiri bar. She set everything up herself, and she turned it into a full service experience. Don't you know that there were people there? They were like, oh, can I hire you to come to our Father's Day event? I have an event coming up in August. Would you be able to do that there? And she just had to make it clear, I will do it, but it's not going to be for free. And so they were clear. Oh, we'll cover all of your expenses. You can put your tip jar out and we'll even pay you to come. So what am I saying? There were others that were just as talented, but they sat down. They stayed quiet. They didn't dance. They didn't play any sports. They didn't speak up, not because they were not good, but because they were scared that someone would say they were trying to be better than others. They were scared that someone's going to judge them. Good morning, Sherry. Good morning. If you're with me live, give me a hey, what's up, what's going on? And if you're catching this in the replay, give me a hashtag replay. So I want you to think about the last event that you went to, the last place that you were at where there was a group of people and you did not know everybody there. And even if you did know everybody there, do they know what your talent is? What are the talents that you're sitting on that no one knows about? Here's the problem with educators. Most people know that we are teachers. That's how they sum us up. She's a teacher. Well, a teacher only teaches in a classroom, in a school system. But there are so many talents that you have. Teaching is not the talent. Everybody who's teaching isn't talented at teaching, but you have an actual skill that you use that allows you to be able to do things that are easier. It's your unfair advantage. And you haven't told people about it. You haven't talked about it. Listen here, when I'm in circles, I make it clear that folks know that I am great at strategizing. I'm really good at taking complex things, making them super simple. And I'm really great at bringing people together around one mission and vision, period. Then they can begin to think, oh, how can I use her? What are you good at? Are you good at connecting other people? Are you good at getting a lot of stuff done, productivity? Are you good at managing projects, as in project management? Are you good at design and color and things like that? What are you really good at? Stop summing it up to I'm just good at teaching. And that's what everybody lumps you into. And that's why people don't know how they can hire you, what it is you're good at. But also you sit on the sidelines because you don't want people to say, oh, she thinks she better than us. Oh, she always trying to show off. If you got the skill, why not show it off? Then my next question is, when was the last time you said out loud what you're actually good at? When was the last time? Like with my niece, she's an amazing singer. She's not going to shy away from the fact that she can sing. Like she's going to let you know, oh, I can sing. I'm a singer. I can sing. Why is it that we are afraid to shy away from what it is that we do? Sherry says, I like how you stated that. What am I good at? Yes, because a lot of us confuse what we do as what we're good at. You may be good at what you do, but what you do is too big of it's too broad of a thing. We get sucked into this. I'm a teacher, and then people put you in that lump, and then you don't qualify for anything else other than teaching. But what is it that you're really good at? Think about the last event that you went to. What do people remember about you from the event? You see, at this event yesterday, there were over 75 people there, I'm certain. It was probably upwards close to 100 people there. You see what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the boy who did the backflips, the singer. We had some runners who were really good at runners. We got folks who were good at sports, folks who were good at dancing. We got the cousin who got up with on the microphone with the speaker. We didn't know that was his skill. That boy worked somewhere at UPS or FedEx somewhere. And then we got the daiquiri bar. The daiquiri bar niece is a customer service rep. But we wouldn't have known that. Like, we got to stop as educators relating it to the job that we do. That's right. Mo Strength said, what do you actually enjoy? Right. And here's a misconception that some of us confused. Some of us confused. I had this conversation yesterday with a lady. Here's the thing that we often confuse. We think that we only can do things that we're passionate about. That's the truth. That we can do that we're passionate about. And so a lot of times we think that we can only do things if it's in our passion or in our purpose. And I want to challenge that. I want to challenge that because God gave us more than one gift. Like, if we only had one gift, we we could only work in that area. But like for me, I'm really great. I am amazing at strategizing, but I'm also an excellent writer. I write really, really well. I'm also a systems thinker. So I can take the big picture and break it down into smaller parts. Most people can only think from either the big picture perspective or the detail perspective. I'm a systems thinker, so I think about things in systems. And then I'm also a person who can dig and ask the right question to get you accelerated results. And so if I just say I only do the things that I like to do, I really love helping women to make more money. Like, stop playing small, make more money. But I also go into that school and do leadership coaching because that's going to give me my consistent income to be able to help the women to make more money. You see what I'm saying? So I just want us to make sure that we're not always thinking that we can only work in our purpose, because it's good to work in your purpose, but sometimes we need to do the thing that's going to bring us money in. I know someone right now, she's doing tutoring over the summer. She has 12 students that she's tutoring over the summer. Honey, those 12 students are going to bring her in $18,000 over this summer. Does she love tutoring? No. Is she good at helping students to achieve reading levels in a 4 to 6 week time period? She is. Does she appreciate that she can support students in that way? She does. Is that what she would do if she got to choose? No, she would not. But that's going to create her $18,000 this summer by working with 12 students and tutoring them. And it's also going to give her the time and flexibility. Over the summer, if she'd have worked summer school, she would have made $3,000 to work 30 days, to have 20, 25 kids in her classroom, and to be horribly miserable every day, waking up at 5, 6 o'clock to get to work and to work on their schedule. Now she gets to create her schedule. She gets to show up for 45 minutes at a time to work with 12 students 2 to 3 times a week. I'm just saying. Marcia says, she says, I've done this class. Or are you doing something different in the future? Marcia, you haven't done this class. I've never done this class before. I'm independent educational consultant with another company, and I'm looking to secure that bag for the summer. Yes. So Marcia, I haven't done this master class before. I very seldom repeat the same master classes. And if I repeat them, I will tell you, I'll put it on the thing that I'm doing it on this day and on this day. I did one in May to help the people to go after funding opportunities. And this one is a different one because we got to actually get proposals submitted, and we got to understand messaging and how to get into the right people. And so, yeah, it's going to be definitely a different master class. Some of the information, if you've been in a couple of mine, you'll hear me repeat some of the information because I have new people who have no experience with consulting. They're classroom teachers or administrators or in the school system, and now they're trying to go over to the business world and do the consulting. So a little bit of information will be repeated just to kind of get them caught up. And then there are people who are consultants in school systems, and they're looking to scale their business to create more income for themselves. And then there are those like you who work for a consulting company. They're doing all of the work and not making all of the money. So in this class, I try to address those three levels. Those are typically the three levels of people: no experience, limited experience, and experience but need to scale. So those are the three things I address in this master class, and we address it through proposals and RFP. So I hope that answers your question. So I just want us to, think about, like, why are you afraid to tell people what it is you do? And some of us think that it's bragging. So we don't say anything because we say, I don't want to brag. And we are following this. Be humble. Honey, this is 2025. You better stop following them rules from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. That is no longer the case. People need to see what you do. And here's the other thing. How are you supposed to connect with people who can hire you and refer you if they have no idea of what you're capable of? I want you to show up and show out and be unapologetic about it. You cannot keep waiting for someone to discover you. If you're sitting silently on the sideline thinking that if I do a good job, they will recognize me. They'll find the time to highlight me. Your gift will not multiply if you bury it. I'm just saying, y'all know what I'm talking about. Your gift not going it is not going to multiply if you just bury it. Closed mouths do not get fed, and the hidden talents don't get paid either. So open your mouth. If people don't know what you do, they cannot support you. They cannot book you. They cannot recommend you. They can't even dream of including you. So here's my challenge to you. Speak up. Speak up. That's it. Speak up. Tell the world what you do. Tell your circle what you're great at. Put it on social media. Say it with your chest because somebody is praying for exactly what you have, and your silence is costing you. Your silence is costing you. Your talent can't pay you if you keep hiding it. And they're not sleeping on you. You're just too quiet. And I want to remind you, it's not bragging. It's called speaking up, being assertive, because you're not going to get paid. You're just going to keep being overlooked. So my advice to you, I suggest you show up, speak up, and get paid, period. No further explanation needed. You should not be ashamed or scared to make money. Why is that? Those are internal issues that you need to deal with. All of the smart people who made all of the A's, who went to college, who got all of the degrees, what do? They work for the C average students. They work for those who dropped out of school. You know why? Because the ones who dropped out, the ones who made C's, they were busy joining clubs, meeting people, learning how to network, learning how to speak up, and they are willing to take a bigger risk. Us smart people, and I'm calling myself out, with all of the degrees, with all of this knowledge and information and researching and procrastinating, we end up working for them because we want to play it safe. I need us to stop playing it safe. I need us to say, I'm gifted and I'm talented. And quite frankly, I want you to get mad. I want you to get angry. I want you to say, why is it that I'm working for this person? I'm smarter than them. I'm more talented than them. I have more resources. I'm more resourceful than them. Why are they making more money than me? Why are they making their own schedule? Why are they working from home? Why are they booking trips? Why are they paying for their kids' weddings? Why are they paying for college in full? Why do they have a fully funded retirement when I'm the one who's doing all of the work? I'm burned out, I'm stressed out because I'm worried about making sure that their business stays afloat, making sure that their school makes the improvement list, making sure that they get the points that they need in order to move to the next level. Stop fulfilling other people's dreams. Stop doing that. Fulfill your own. Stop being scared to take a bigger risk. I'm telling you, there are contracts, there are opportunities, there are school systems that are looking for what you have. You are just too afraid to get out here, pitch yourself. You're worried about what people are going to say, and you're allowing people to hold you to the older version of who you were. So what if something happened in your past life, in the past time? So what if you got fired from a job? That don't change the fact that you're still gifted and talented. And I don't know why we think that people are sitting back thinking about you all day, every day. They're not. They've moved on in their life. They hired somebody else in that position. Stop thinking about that. Stop that. Focus on what you're good at. Stop focusing on the things that you failed at. The things that you failed at, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to do the things that we're really good at. And the people who make all of the money are the ones who sell their services. Why do we think that you think you should be doing the work? That is backwards thinking. You should be the visionary behind the work. And let me just dispel this myth real quick. Not everybody is going to make $1 million, nor do you have to make $1 million+ dollars. Honey, you will be just fine making $10,000, $15,000 a month. Trust me when I say that. You will be even better and won't even know what to do with all the money if you was making $20,000 a month. God forbid you make $30,000 a month. Stop letting these social media people come on here and tell you that the only way you can be happy is if you're making $1 million a year, if you're a 7-figure earner. Stop that. Girl, if you're making $250,000 a year, trust me, you living out your dreams, okay? And once you're making $250,000, you know the things that you need to do and can do to bring in more, $330,000 a year. You do not have to make 7 figures. Let me just eliminate that from your mind if that's what's holding you back. To close 2 contracts, you can close a $25,000 contract and a $50,000 contract. For that $75,000, you're only going to work 20 or 30 days out of that year. You got plenty of time to figure out how to close another contract, how to bring more people on, how to get people to work for you, and all of those things. And those are things that we're going to talk about in this masterclass that I have coming up. Hey, Tanisha. That's right, Tanisha. Be happy with 6 figures. And I'm not saying to settle. And I know that's not what you're saying, Tanisha. I'm just saying for the people, like we get confused with this stuff that we see on Instagram and on TikTok and all these social media platforms. It's not true, y'all. And most of those people who say that they're making 7 figures, that's their revenue. That's not what they bring home. The thing that I love about consulting is that you bring home about 80% of your pay. So you're going to pay for some of your systems. You're going to pay for your assistant. You may have to pay for some subcontracting. You might have to pay for some materials. You might have to pay for a flight. You might have to pay for a hotel room. But for the most part, you're going to bring home about 80% of the pay. In most businesses, and we're going to talk about this in my upcoming event, in most systems, you're only bringing home 20 to 40% of the pay. So it really doesn't matter what the revenue is. We care about what we get to take home. So if you haven't signed up for the upcoming masterclass, get signed up. It's June 11th and 12th. Use the code contracts. It'll get you free entry in. Use the code contracts. And when you press contracts, make sure you press the submit button right beside it, because that will take the price to $0. Don't accidentally put it in and don't press the submit button beside it. It's coming up on Wednesday and Thursday. I don't even try to pretend like I'm going to be able to tell you all of this in one session. That's just not true. I'm not pretending with you. I'm going to need 2 days, because that evening I'm going to do about an hour and a half. I'm going to let you walk away, think about it, put some stuff in place, and actually implement, because the goal is for you to implement and not just to have cute ideas. And then the next day when you come back, we're going to finish up the what we're doing, get our understanding, and be ready to implement again. So that's why it's 2 days, not because I just want to spend 2 evenings with y'all. I got stuff to do. I could be at the movies. I could be going out to dinner. I could be doing a number of things. But you know what? This summer, I am relentless. Y'all going to see me all the time this summer. because I mean it. This summer has to be the summer of change. I'm not letting y'all off the hook. I'm not going to let you keep talking yourself out of it. I'm not going to allow you to keep letting doubt creep in, making excuses. I'm going to keep putting it in your face how you wake up every morning. You know, if you continue to lay in the bed and sleep, those are excuses. You're not going to get anything that you want. You're going to get what other people say you can have. You keep talking about you got money problems. I'm giving you a way to solve your money problems. You need to make more income. Y'all, some of the smartest people on the planet. We should not be struggling. We should have excess money in our bank account. We use these excuses. My husband this, my husband that. Girl, your husband is doing what he needs to do, and you need to do what you need to do, because when it's time for you to go to your grave, you're going to be in there alone and not with your husband. And when you on your deathbed and thinking about what you regret, your husband's still going to be doing his own thing. And the same thing for your kids. So I am going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep putting this in y'all face. I'm going to keep trying to do events that will help you to move to the next level. Again, I'm not saying you got to quit your job. You have not heard me say that not one time. We have people who work their job, bring in this extra income, pay off houses, pay off cars, and do all types of stuff, take all types of trips that they've dreamed of, support their family members, give to charities and donations that they always wanted to do. You have to have a bigger dream for yourself and stop sitting back waiting on somebody else to deliver that dream to you. It is your responsibility, not anybody else's. So that's all I got. I ain't got no more. I hope this helps, and I'll talk to y'all later. Check the post. I'm gonna show you a few videos from the event. Talk to y'all later.